Hi, this is Apurva,
Hi, this is Rahul.
and we are back with another episode of What the Product. So, first, we would like to thank you all for all the love that you have showered upon us for the first episode of What the Product, and very grateful for the feedback that we have received. And we are back with another exciting episode of What the Product. Today, we have a super duper product with us that is Cometa. So, what is Cometa? Cometa is a functional and visual regression testing tool. It basically helps us in our functional testing and visual regression testing. So, what is it? It is a web UI automation testing tool. It continuously tests functionality and performs visual tests with image comparison. So this is one of the wonderful things that it is doing, that it does the visual comparison of the screenshots and the tests that we perform. It is a no code or very low code tool. So it doesn't require a lot of programming. There are a set of predefined steps. We just need to customize them as per our test, and we could run our tests in minutes. So this is a very wonderful thing that I liked about this tool. And what are the benefits of Cometa? It is the first one is the automation of human actions on websites is made very easy. You just have to go onto your website and you have to just take out the steps and your automation is ready. And it is 100% open source and it runs on open source tools like Selenium, Docker, Django, and Python. And this really helps us, since it is all open source, it helps us to tweak it or modify it as per and customize it as per our requirements. So this is a very wonderful feature. And visual comparison with screenshots. So as a tester, a lot of my testing involves taking screenshots for the tests that I run and then analyze them with the previous screenshots and make a report. So all this analysis part takes a lot of time, but with Cometa, this becomes easy as Cometa itself compares the screenshots of the previous versions and gives us the analysis reports as well, that what has changed, how much it has changed. So it's very good in that. And easy UI testing over 2000 devices. So we can integrate Cometa with applications such as BrowserStack, and then we can have the different combinations of the browsers, platforms, that is the OS, and the devices, and we could have a lot of scope in our testing with these capabilities. And it also smoothly integrates with the REST API integration with continuous testing platforms, for example, GitLab. All these are the benefits which Cometa offers, and I as a tester feel these are super amazing. So to check out more about the Cometa product and explore more about it, check out this link in the description box. So yeah, that's about the what. So when did this start? So Cometa was initially launched in Jan 2021, the alpha version, and June 2021, the beta version got launched, and it is they're planning to release it very soon, probably next month. So watch out for the product.
Yeah. So interesting question. I think that would have been in all of your mind is that from where do we have to use it? Do we have to do some installation on our machine or some ID or something? So one of the awesome thing that Cometa gives is that you have to use it just through browser. So there is no additional installation or setup or dependencies on tools or something on setup on your machine. So you have to use it from your browser, which makes it pretty simple and easy to use. It supports test execution on various kind of infrastructure setups. So when I talk about infrastructure setups, there is a possibility to run it on your on-premise or your corporate intranet or corporate infrastructure or local infrastructure setup. And then you can even integrate it with your third-party cloud providers if you have a subscription, for example, BrowserStack or Sauce Labs or something. Or essentially, you can even customize it for both kind of infrastructure setups. So that's an amazing facility. Another part is the support for different device OS. So you can use it to test your on Windows, on Mac OS, on Android, on iOS, and so on, and all the versions associated with it. So that's pretty cool. Another is the different device types. So like it can run on you can run it on the desktop mode or on the tablets mode or on the mobile device mode. So that is also covered. So that's about the Wear.
So who is behind this product? That is none other than Cometa SL that has launched this product, and we are very thankful that they bought this amazing product to us.
Yep. And one most important part, that why should you check out this product, and why it's so we feel so positive about this product. So we have listed down some points, and the first and the most important point is that it's really fast and it enables you to write tests within minutes. So you can quickly set up your test using Cometa, and you can within some couple of minutes you can set up your test, which we will even see in the demo section, and you can essentially start with your testing. So very fast and super. Another is the BDD structure that it follows. So anybody who has an experience working on the BDD and the Gherkin language and all, and familiar with the terminologies like given, when, then, and all these keywords. So it's pretty complementary in a way to that structure, how Cometa also aligns its features and all. So that's also something that people who have already worked can easily adapt to. Another is the cool execution capabilities. So there are some really cool execution capabilities. So one was like the support for multiple browser and OS that we were talking about. Another is like execution of all these tests on different OSs and browsers and all these combinations in a parallel mode. So which makes it pretty fast. And you can configure for many number of browsers and devices and OS, and then you can just essentially trigger them in a parallel mode. So that's pretty cool. Another is the scheduling facility. So you can schedule your test or the features using this cron scheduler that Cometa offers, where you can plan to schedule in a different mode based on the cron inputs that you give or configure. Another cool and very interesting feature which was very appealing to me was the capability to watch the live steps. So Cometa offers you to watch the live execution, and you can just see that what step is currently executing and what is the status, what is the screenshot and all, and which makes it pretty interactive, and you get a feel that you are actually running it on your machine only. So that's something awesome. And another is the support for continuing on even on failures. So the test won't stop if there is some failure, and you can configure it to just keep on continuing even if there is failure, if you want to continue with some step or you have some expected failures and all. So that's also one more awesome capability. Another is the test reporting, and which Cometa offers is very detailed test reporting. Why I always focus on the test reporting for tools is that nobody looks into the logs when the test case actually passes, but the logs and the reporting becomes very important when the test and the automated test fails, because from there we get all the insights and information. So reporting is one of the very important factor, and Cometa offers a support for overview of the entire execution, and you can even see the stepwise results and the logs for text logs for your execution. Then you can even download the reports in the PDF format, so which we will see in the demo how it happens. And then there is support for screenshot, where you can customize screenshot for each page or each step and all. Then there is a video recording support, which is pretty cool. because it offers you to watch a video immediately after the execution. So immediately your execution completes and you have a more like a button from which you can just see the video recording or download it. So which makes it pretty cool. And there is also support for email notifications. So you can actually trigger emails post your test execution, and you get notifications and all. That's awesome. And then yes, the graphical dashboard of execution where you get a visual data and you can filter it and all. So that's something cool about the test reporting capabilities. It also supports integration using webhooks. So how that actually helps is that if you have any communication app that supports webhook, so you can essentially integrate it with Cometa, and you can use Cometa and that integration to notify on that communication app about the test execution status based on some conditions and all. So essentially, for example, if you use Discord, you can connect that. If you use Mattermost, you can connect that. Or if, for example, if you use Teams, so that connections are all possible through Cometa. Next is the customized steps that are supported for two kind of applications. One is the IBM Cognos and another is the ServiceNow. So if you test or if you use these applications or you develop these applications, so then Cometa is one tool to check out for, because there are a lot of customized steps supported for these two applications and they may be pretty helpful for you or your use case and context. So that's something nice. Another is the secure, which is one of the very most important thing that we all look for in a tool, that is it secure. And Cometa is pretty secure. It supports login via OAuth, and you can essentially use your existing GitLab credentials or GitHub or Google, and there are a lot of possibilities through which you can use your existing credentials to log into Cometa. So that's also pretty nice. So these are some of the factors why you should try out Cometa.
So how do we get our hands on this wonderful product? So check out the link in the description box and request them for an early access to explore more on this product. So it is absolutely free if you want to run it on your own servers. They provide you with the documentation for the self setup and you are good to go with the application. Also, they have chargeable plans if you want to run your test on the Cometa servers. So that's about it. So let's get started with the demo. So this is how the Cometa application looks like. This is basically the UI. I and Rahul have requested for an early access to explore the app, and this is how it looks. So if you want to create a feature on the home page, you can just create it and it will just come down here and it will be in an unorganized way. And if you want to organize your tests, so you can club them into different folders and you can have as many folders and subfolders as you want.
So for our exploration, Apurva and I created this folder, ARRP Exploration, where we were doing some features. We created some features to test it out, some steps, and we'll create one more test right now live, and that would help you to understand how quickly one can use Cometa to create features and test. For our use case, we'll be using Amazon application, and we'll be searching for a product. We'll be going to the cart and we'll be verifying if the product that we added to the cart is the same that is there in the cart. So pretty simple use case, but we'll try it out through Cometa. If you click on this plus icon, you get this wizard, create new feature, where you can add or pass the information. So I'll select the department as ARRP, put the application as default, select the environment as prod, name the test as Amazon Alexa test. We'll use it to search for the Alexa application, Alexa product, and some sample description that you want to give it for your test. Then if your test or feature depends on some other feature, you can check this and pass that, but that's not the case for us. You can send email on finish. Yes, we want to do that. So I'll pass an email. But let's quickly look at the other options. So one is the record video, which we want. Another is continue on failure, which we don't want. We want it to fail once it encounters a failure. And then you even have an option to ask for help. So once you mark this, then the test would be flagged with the status of ask for help, and anybody from your team can look into this test and fix it. So that's a good support that they have added here. Then there is a support for editing and like passing the environment variable. So there was one product name that we already have. So I can click on this cancel button, and on the email template, I can pass in the email address where I want to send the email of my report. So I'll use a disposable email, rahul@mailinator.com, and let's see if it will trigger there. I can give a customized subject or a message body. For now, I'm leaving it to default. So let's see how this is send it to us in a default mode. And when to send on email. So I've checked always. You can also select on error if you only want to get emails related to error only. Now I'll select the browsers. So there is a provision to select the browsers on your local server as well as on the browser stack third-party cloud, which Cometa has integrated with. So I'll select browser stack, and there are a lot of options, if you see, that are coming from browser stack related to the OS X and the browser on OS X, what you want to take. So I've taken Firefox from this Mac OS, and a Chrome from Windows, and then I've selected an Android 11 device and Galaxy S21 and maybe iPhone 13, 11 Pro Max. So I've selected some sample set of 3 to 4 devices. I can select some other OS in Windows also, for example Windows 8 and maybe Edge. So that I can do. So this is I've selected 5 browsers. So we will see how they will run in a default mode. And in the steps definition, you can add the steps, and there is a facility to add an empty step as well as from the template. So as I'm a beginner on this tool, I'll use from a template, and let's see what templates they give. So if you see, then there are an option of available steps which you can directly use, and you just have to update these values in the brackets, and they have all these like common steps that you need to use for the web automation, like close the browser, reload, set value, scroll, focus, I can see, I can switch, and I can click, I can see an element, I can sleep for some time, and I can resize the browser, click on some element, check if the CSS selector contains, and there are a lot of predefined steps that are already available. So first step is start the browser and call for a URL. So I'll give the Amazon URL, amazon.in, and I'll click here. Okay, and I can check these checkboxes for take screenshot and compare images. I'll check them. So I'll quickly go for the next step. So maybe next thing that I want to do is maximize the browser. So it doesn't require any parameters. So yeah, I'll just add it. The third step is to basically type for the product name here. So I'll use a tool called Selectors Hub for finding quick locator on this application. And you see here, so I get this relative CSS selector, and the action that I want to do is click. So I can click on an element. No, I want to type here actually. So value, and so the value that I want to type is Alexa, and the selector that I want to give is this, which I copied from Amazon, and I can say, so the third step is set value Alexa on this to tab and click on add. Next is clicking on the search button. So when I go here and click on this button, and I've copied this CSS selector, and I search for this click, so I can click on an element with this CSS selector, and this is okay. And so after entering Alexa and clicking on this, and in the next screen I will take the locator for this Amazon choice, so that I can click on this Amazon choice for the product that I want to buy. And okay, and yeah, I'll copy this, add a step from template, and again I just want to click, so I can click on an element with CSS selector, that is the value, click on it, okay. And if I click on it, let's see what happens. So I click on take screenshot, compare image, add, and add one more step from template. So now I want to save this product name from this web element. So I'll just scroll through it and see what is the selector for this product title. And yep, I get it. I copy this, and I want to save this value. So save selector value to an environment variable. So I can save this product title into a variable named for, say, let's say product name. Click on OK and take a screenshot, compare image, click on add, and now I want to click on this add to cart button. So I'll check, copy this locator for add to cart, and again simple click, add to cart, take screenshot, add. Similarly, next step would be from add to cart. The next step would be to click on the cart button that comes on the shopping cart page. So I'll quickly go here to this cart, and I see an XPath. Copy this and click. So this is done, and you can take screenshot, compare image. Let's try that. And finally, we just have to compare that the value which we saved is available on this page. So I'll write a very simple test, that test step. So maybe it would be something like I can see something on the page, I can see link with text, and there are a lot of options. I can see something. So let's try that. So what is our something? So we saved it in the product name. So let me write it with this $sign, so that we can use to, for like putting it, comparing it with that variable which we saved. So $product name. Okay. Take a screenshot, compare images, click on add, and we are done. So we have defined some 9 steps for our test. We have taken screenshot for a lot of them, and we are comparing. We want to compare the screenshots also. So this is the visual validation part. This is the screenshot taking part, and this enable is all the checkboxes. If you want to disable a step, maybe you don't want to do a specific step, you can just uncheck or check from here. You can even export this JSON. So we'll try to export it to a clipboard to quickly see what gets exported, and you can just import this JSON in another feature if you want to just set all these steps somewhere else. So pretty reusable in that way also, or you can even save this feature and mark a dependency and run it like by passing the dependency of a previous feature. So both the options are available, and you can schedule it. So as of now, by default, this scheduler is disabled, but there is a cron scheduler format through which you can specify when and where you want to run this scheduler or schedule test. based on the frequency you can define in terms of minutes, hours, days, weeks, and all. And there are some examples. So yeah, I understood that, and that's pretty much. So that's how you have to set it up. So not a lot of knowledge of uh, web automation is required. Only thing is you need to know the business flow that you want to automate, and a way to get these selectors, which I was getting it through a very smart tool called Selectors Hub. So that was pretty easy and simple. So I'll click on this create button, and feature successfully created. I'll click on this yes, and I'll click on this run feature now. So let's see what happens. So as soon as I clicked on this run feature now, all the tests which I had like configured for different kind of devices and different kind of browsers. So all of those have started running. So if you see on the Chrome 92 OS X, this test has started, and you are getting side by side screenshot for all the steps which you had enabled the screenshot for, and it's also comparing it. So for the first execution, it is taking this screenshot as its reference, but for any future execution, it will take the previous execution screenshot and compare it with that. You can even change this base reference image, so which we will see once we complete this test, that how to do that. And then if there is any difference, then that also comes, and they mark it up with some color. So we see all the tests have executed, and at the end, like it came on this page, and it was able to even see that product name, and this step passed. Similarly, I guess it passed on Edge and Firefox. Let's see what's the status on iPhone. So on iPhone, it is not able to set the value of Alexa on that selector. So I guess the selector name is different, or I guess there is this coinciding that is happening because of this pin code helper message tooltip. So yeah, that's a failure. So it waited for 60 seconds, but unable to find a specified element, and that's why it failed. And I guess the same would have happened in the Samsung Galaxy also. Yes. So it's failed here also, and I'll click on close. And
And one more thing is that though we gave different browsers and different devices, the test ran pretty fast. If you can
yes,
see, it was pretty fast that we ran on different combinations. So
yes,
yeah.
yes. It was a totally parallel execution, and as soon as I like click on this run, it automatically triggers the test on multiple devices. Just click on close, and I guess it's processing something. So we'll come back here in a moment. But yeah, if you see on this Firefox and Chrome and Edge, because the tests were completed, and you also have a recording for the end-to-end thing, which is ready for others. Maybe it's processing, and you get this instant recording where you can just see how the tests were performing and passing and all. So it's a live execution view, whatever was happening, and you can use it to debug and analyze. So that's pretty cool. And I guess there is one execution which got triggered by us, and maybe that's happening. But let's see what happened on this Firefox. So I'll click on this Firefox, and if you see, the pixel difference was 0, and you can see step by step what happened and what was the time that was it was taking on each page or each step, and for loading, and you get all these options. And if you click on, for example, just any step, then you even get this template. So you have a template, you have an actual screenshot, and then there is like a screenshot difference and all. So that's pretty cool. On the top, you see this PDF report which you can download or see, and it's loading. So yeah, let me open it with Firefox, and you get all these steps. You can download this entire along with the screenshots and whatever happened. And you get this report. Coming back to this, so we get this report downloadable and user friendly. Then you can even enable disable notifications for this feature. You can edit the schedule if you want to run it on the schedule. You can even show the log output, what was happening. So you get all this, how it like executing and scenario begin and all your like Gherkin steps that are coming here and what is happening step by step. So you can see all of that. So I'll go back and you can click on this, and now even we have these reports for these mobile devices which were getting generated that time, so which you can click and run, and the issue that was coming. So yep, that's the mobile recordings, and I guess I'll click on the stop execution and click on run feature. Yeah, and now it again spawned up. So maybe there was some issue that was happening that time. And if you see, this is how quickly like all the tests are spawned in parallel, which is pretty cool. So that's something awesome, and you even start seeing these dashboards now. And then once the second test will complete, you can like essentially compare, and you will get all those things. And here you see there is this okay, which is like how many steps were fine, and not okay is NOK, which means how many steps were not as expected. And if you see, these are two, and the time it took in the mobile is more because of the waiting of the locator for 60 seconds. But yeah, I mean, you get an analysis of the time and all, and if there is a pixel difference, then you get some data here. So that's
basically okay is the past steps and not okay is the not past steps that have failed, and due to the failure it is skipping some steps, then those are in the skipped steps.
Yep. And I guess this time also it has passed on this Chrome and all.
And yeah, if you see here, we can see the difference, pixel difference, which is making a lot of sense. Like it's comparing with the first run and the current run, and then it is giving the difference.
Yeah, so this time, yeah, there are some differences because of the difference in how it's executing, and I'll close this. And if there is some pixel difference that it has identified, and then let me click on this Firefox, and it gets some 2 million total pixel differences, and I can click on, for example, say any step, and then I get this actual screenshot, and I guess there is no pixel difference for this.
Yes, it was a maximized step, right? So we didn't have a screenshot for comparison.
I'll just go to another step where we have, okay, so we have a pixel difference here, and here you can see the actual screenshot, the template, and the difference, and what was happening. So that is available there, and yep, so that's pretty cool.
And that is the graphical representation of your test run.
Yes, so you see all
First run and second run.
how the pixel differences are increasing over the time, and what is the status of like okay steps and not okay steps, and when are they coming. So you can see all of them here, and you can even, I guess, filter it on these different views. I think once you like execute it more frequently, you get all the other options also opened up. So I guess right now I just set it up for 2 tests just back to back, so we get only an all option, but yeah, you can even customize it. So that's pretty cool. And then the Cometa in our folder, yes, we see this Amazon Alexa test, and you can clone it and like modify it or something like that. So
Also, we could use the steps in one test into another test. That is also one cool feature.
yep. So that's all, I guess, for today, and we wanted to cover some basic things about Cometa and a very basic demo. So I guess this demo would be useful in understanding like if Cometa suits your context and purpose. But it's essentially it's very simple and easy to set this up and work through Cometa. So yeah, that's my takeaway from this app.
Yeah, as it is releasing pretty soon, so keep an eye on it and watch out for it if you feel it suits your context.
Yep. So thank you everyone. Cheers and have a nice day.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye. Until
Bye.
next time.
Bye.